certainly would be wild to pick out a heron, I will say that. Certainly would be wild. It's a rainy one. I'm going to give all the corners, all the nooks, crannies, a good shot and see if the tide is doing. It's going out. It can't be coming in. It is generally up there. So I'm looking at it is moving a little bit. I'm going to work the water a bit until my sweater gets wet. And I most certainly am going to be checking. No telling when that was cleaned. That's empty. So I'll look in the trash can. Hoping that Justin was there. Find out what those heron were doing. Second last thing is we check the table. I didn't see much activity. Look inside there. So I'm going to try this corner here. Just going to hit all the hot spots back a few times. I'm going to look along the edges, and I don't see any. I don't see any. You'll see a pile of scales all along the edge there if there was a hot heron bite. But they've been tight batch. Today definitely is not the day for a picnic, even to sit down and relax. Well, I guess you could relax. It's not cold out. It's not bad, though. It's just a little chilly. So I'm going to try over here a little bit. Take a few cans out here into the rip and across my hole. When it's kind of frontal, a little frontal, something like that. And I'm just going to work that sabiki right across, real slow. The slower the better. You can just let it sit there. The slower the better. Get it back. Slower the better. Get it back. Take that next cast. Work that sabiki through a little more. I'm not even just keeping that rod tip kind of up. Just letting that sabiki do its thing, just like a fly. I stopped around Brooklyn the other night. I did see 3 heron caught, 2 in front of me. So they are around. But I will also tell you that, that's amongst at least a dozen anglers coming and going. Could have been more, could have been less at any point in time. You don't have to work for those fish. Those heron. And you can see I'm working. I have on lights, 2 of the smaller lights. Maybe I'm not going to be here till dark. It's just getting too damp. So I'm going to work this corner here a bit. And I'm covering water actually. I'm going to be casting around. The snag ain't too bad. I'm going to try to. There we go. Let that sabiki drop. Get to the bottom. And cover the water. That's what we're doing, covering as much water as we can. That corner over there used to be hot. People used to come early, get under those lights there on this tide, and they'd sit up all night and pick the heron out one after the other. So I'm going to wing one out over here. I'm just covering water. I forget if there's a snag down there or not, but there might be. So again, we're covering water. For herons. Now the heron are definitely sparse, and if you get a really nice day, actually for the rain, this is a striped bassy kind of day. Workouts, I will talk about that. Work out some bigger sabikis. You're going to intercept those early spring bass. Definitely a big possibility now. I probably ain't going to get serious into that for some few weeks, but maybe do some hybrid heron striped bass fishing. So that will be pretty cool in another couple weeks or so. So I'm just working through my sabiki now, regular sabiki, red one covering water, a couple of highlights, and we'll see if we pull something out. I'm going to work my sabiki across here. Swinging out, swinging. Get the. Well, this hasn't many people fishing. I'm gonna work it across the lock and see if we intercept it. I'm at the point where I am getting soaked, and it's okay. I'm gonna angle one out here, cast one in there. Just cover the water. Here, thing with, well, the double rigs have been essential this year from what I've seen pier fishing for herring. But the nice thing when you fish with a single rig, the advantage you have with the single rig, and I found here in particular, is that you're going to cover more water. You're not going to get that same cast. You're going to cast about 1/3 the distance with those double rigs. So herring ain't flush in front of the pier or near the pier. Also with the single rig, I'm going to cast, I'm going to work that single rig across and cover water with it. So I'm covering water, I'm hitting more distance, I'm thinking area. The double big rigs, essential this year, essential. You're working more towards the pier. So there is some fine detail. There is definitely fine detail in herring fishing. And, oh, I'm going to fire one out over here. And this is definitely what I would call variable acclimate weather, which if there's fish are around and active, it's going to give you a little bit of an edge some days, not all days, but you know, your stormier days, your overcasty days, your rainy days can throw on a bite, changing the barometric pressure, stuff like that. So check those days out if they're bearable. If it was 5 degrees colder, 10 degrees colder, yeah, I'd be at home. And it would be snowing, maybe not. So I'm going to finish out and cover a lot of water where I started. Like I said, I'm only going to fish for an hour or so. And my shirt is drenched now, but I'm still kind of dry. I have on my Under Armour, and so that's keeping me warm, it's keeping me dry. I haven't felt any of the water seep through yet, so I'm going to walk that sabiki like I started. I'm going to finish out here, probably about a half dozen casts on the corner. I'm going to swing that sabiki through. Oh. But yeah, doing some pier fishing for herring, giving it a shot, seeing if they came through. We had the acclimate weather, the rain. Apparently they're not here on this tide. You can go home, or you can go back in the car, have some hot soup, come back out and fish a little more. That's what I do on cold, snowy winter days. But yeah, we gave it a shot, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. I am about at my drench level now. It's going to be getting dark in about 15 minutes. Gave it a shot. I'm going to take a few more casts, roll out before I actually get wet. Anyway, thanks for watching. Get in. Have a nice day, evening, and we'll see you next time. I'll get the casts in.